And now it's time for the meme of the week. When one woman and her cat survives the Alien movie, feminists, I see this as an absolute win. Today we're going to be talking about weapons, the weapons in D&D, and about which ones you should use and which ones you should just sell and then buy a cheaper version of it and have some money left over. We have simple weapons. These are normally rejected because martial weapons are so much better, but some of them are memorable. I'll go through them in case you're playing a cleric or a warlock. First off, the club and the great club are both straight up weak. The only real reason you would want to have either of these is if you're a druid who's trying to use Shillelagh, and that's the only reason I would bother with the club. We got the dagger. It deals 1d4 damage, can be thrown, and two of them can wield it at once, and it can be used by a dex-based character. Rogue, found your weapon. Yep. Use this. Most rogues use this weapon, but the short sword is better if you don't want to use the daggers as a throwing weapon. The hand axe. This is a great weapon. I mean, it's pretty much like a dagger, except it deals 1d6s, but it doesn't have the finesse property, which makes it so you can use it with dexterity. Overall, great for barbarians who want to have a ranged attack as well as a melee attack. Oh, and don't you dare think, Assassin's Creed Image, that I have forgiven you for giving an assassin a hand axe. What kind of assassin does not wield a dagger or a short sword instead of a hand axe? Oh, we have the spear and the javelin. The javelin is a weapon that deals 1d6 damage. It can be thrown. And is normally used as a stabbing tool as well. The spear is the same thing, except it can also be used in two hands, which gives it 1d8 damage. Now, technically, the spear is better in this scenario because of its two-handed ability, but I'm not going to hate on it, the javelin, because it's an inability to go versatile, since it's already rather effective. I mean, it's meant as ammo, not as a melee weapon. And that's why I'm not going to be hating on it. Next part I want to say bluntly without remorse. The mace is trash because it's way too expensive. Just sell it and buy a quarterstaff or a spear or a javelin. And the sickle is trash because it is just a dagger but weaker. They're both trash. And so is the light hammer. Then we have the crossbow. We're going to range weapon. It's a crossbow which takes longer to load. And the short bow which doesn't take as long to load, and you can just shoot with it every turn. The dart and sling are both trash. Then we have the battle axe, good. The flail, bad because it doesn't have versatile, unlike the battle axe. Gavel, good in some scenarios if you want to be like a melee fighter who does ranged stuff as well, I guess. Great axe, less expensive than the great sword, but it's a lot less expensive. It deals 1d12 damage, while the great sword does 2d6 damage. Now, the great sword is technically better because it is higher chance of it can't roll a 1 with its damage. But besides that, they're pretty much the same, and the great swords are really expensive. Then we have the halberd, which is pretty much the gavel, except it does slashing damage. The lance, which is for horse riding because it has a disadvantage while you're within 5 feet of somebody instead of like a square being between you. You have the longsword, which is pretty much the battle axe, except it's slightly more expensive, but it's much cooler, personally. I mean, if you want, it's a sword, okay? And then the maul, which is a lot like the battle axe, but holy crud, is it a lot less expensive. It's only 10 gold, while the greatsword is 50. And then the pike, which is another form of the gavel / halberd. Yeah, there's a lot of different versions of the pokey weapon from a distance. Then we got the morning star. It's trash. It's trash as the flail. Then we have the rapier. It's a longsword, but it has finesse, which means it can be used with a dexterity. # for rogues. Then we have the scimitar, like the daggers, but can't be thrown. Short sword, like the daggers, but can't be thrown. Both the scimitar and short sword do 1d6 damage. But the short sword is better because it is less expensive. Trident. Just an expensive version of the spear. # trash. War Pick. Trash. Just a version of the flail. Same reasons for flail and Morningstar. Warhammer. Just like the battle axe and the long sword. Last, we have the whip. Oh my gosh, I'm about to enrage an entire fandom. The whip could be so good, but it's trash. You see, it has finesse, fantastic. Reach, fantastic. But then, it deals 1d4 damage. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This could have been such a fun weapon. I'm so sorry, Indiana Jones. I'm just so sorry. Okay, now moving on from my emotional depression. Blowgun. For the last time, bad D&D weapons, know your place, you pieces of trash. Hand crossbow. It's the light crossbow, but yeah, it's the short bow, but it's trash. Heavy crossbow. It is the equivalent of a shotgun in D&D. It deals 1d10 damage. Longbow. Pretty good, I guess. It's pretty good. Net. You can just forge your own opinions on this one. That pretty much does it for your guide to weapons. I'm Alex the Dragon Sage or Meme Mage, I'm not sure which one. Feature which one you'd like in the comments below, and bye!